is your name, please?
My name is John Anderson.
What is your name, please?
My name is John Anderson.
What is your name, please?
My name is John Anderson.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real John Anderson, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you each week by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. And here, once again, sitting in for Bud Collier, is our host, Ralph Bellamy.
Good evening. In case you don't know, this is a game of deliberate misrepresentation, wherein our panel tries to find which of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you each week by Geritol. And now let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please, as if I didn't know?
My name is Bergen.
My name is Jack Paar.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Gardner.
Now, panel, these three gentlemen all claim to be John Anderson. Only one is the real John Anderson. The other two have assumed that identity, and of course they don't have to stick to the truth. Now, in front of you, you'll find a copy of an affidavit. Please listen while I read. I, John Anderson, am a merchant seaman and have sailed the seven seas for over 40 years. Among my many passengers have been over 200,000 troops that I transported through enemy-infested waters, and I commanded a ship which brought thousands of war brides to America. Now I am Commodore of the United States Lines Fleet, and am the master of the world's fastest ocean liner, the SS United States. Signed, John Anderson. Now, panel, these three gentlemen all claim to be Commodore John Anderson, master of the SS United States. Only the real John Anderson is required to answer your questions truthfully. Each of you will question until you hear this signal. At the end of the questioning period, you'll be asked, each of you, to vote for the person who, in your opinion, is the real John Anderson. Now, let's start this with Kitty Carlisle.
Number one, can a captain have more than one mate?
Yes, except, yes, on a ship only.
Number two, how many working personnel do you carry?
Excuse me, to me.
Number two.
About 1,000.
1,000. Number three, can you tell me what started the tradition of the captain going down with the ship? What purpose does it or did it serve?
Well, the ship is his responsibility, I suppose. He probably thinks that he should remain with the ship.
Number two, does the United States carry a stabilizer?
Oh, yes.
Number two, would you tell me your biggest headache in carrying a cargo of war brides?
Not enough aspirin.
Thank you, Kitty. Aye, will you have a go?
That surprises me. I didn't realize that a bride got a headache that quickly. Number two, by what means did you avoid attack once you sighted an enemy submarine?
Every one of the ships in the convoy had a naval complement under the command of a gunnery lieutenant. And when danger was sighted, that gunnery lieutenant, on his own initiative, took the measures to either fire and frighten away the enemy attack, or on a concerted command from the commander of the convoy to execute certain maneuvers which would then perhaps escape from the attack.
I
That's
see,
a
sir.
full
Now,
answer, I'd
number
say.
three, that's so complete, it's practically World War III. Number three, was your ship, the one you commanded with 200,000 troops crossing, faster than any submarine?
No.
It wasn't. Number one was your...
I'm sorry. Aye, Folly?
Which is faster, Hi? I hate it when they ask questions on...
Well, you ask it.
Oh,
I'm not a contestant, dear.
Oh, number three, what do you call food on board ship?
Fruit?
Food.
Oh, food. Food.
You call it food. Number 2, what do you call food on board ship?
We call it chow.
Chow. And number 1?
Mess. There are 3 answers. Take your choice.
Do any of you ever suffer from indigestion? Number 1.
No, I do not.
You don't. Number 1, could you tell me where does the flag fly when the ship is moving?
Flies aft. The stern.
Thank you. Jack?
Number 1, which is the largest, ocean or sea? An ocean or sea?
Ocean or sea? Ocean's larger than sea.
That's right. The United States, number 2, holds the world's record as the fastest ship. Is that not right?
That is correct.
On which of your trips did you achieve that record?
On the maiden trip. That was on July 3rd, 1952, from New York to Southampton.
Number 3, a starboard is left on a ship. Is that right? Starboard is left, right?
No. Starboard is right.
And the port is the rear end of a ship, number 1?
That is the left side, sir.
It is the what?
Left side.
I'm sorry, time's up, and it's time to vote. Now, without consultation, will you please mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Now, our team of challengers will receive $250 for each incorrect vote, so that if the challengers are successful in fooling the entire panel, they can win $1,000. All right, panel, you ready? Polly, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3. I'm sorry. Actually, I voted for number 3 from the very beginning, because I felt when I looked up at the 3 of them that number 3 was the one who truly looked like he was the commander of the United States.
Jack?
I voted for number 2. Because I have a friend who was on that maiden voyage, and he said that they broke the record on that maiden voyage to England, and that is correct. And I bet on number 2, but I'm willing to change it on the slightest.
All right, Kitty, who did you vote for?
I think I'll change.
Number 2. Well, I base mine purely on the fact that number 2 has that far-seeing blue eye of a natural-born seaman.
And Hi, who's your choice?
Well, I voted for number 3. I thought that number 2 might have been the captain from the way he looks, but number 3, for some peculiar reason, seemed to answer the questions correctly, and he blinked when he was up there, which means he doesn't get to see the sunlight often.
Okay, thank you. We're certainly getting a lot of long answers here tonight. All right, the votes are all in. The minds are made up. Let's find out which of these 3 gentlemen is the captain of the USS United States. Will the real John Anderson please stand? I may say it's a good thing I wasn't on the panel, because I crossed with Commodore Anderson last January, and I would have had to disqualify myself.
I think I see now. He sits like he has sand in his shoe. I can see.
Number 1, will you tell us who you really are, please?
I'm Bernard P. Day, president of Joseph P. Day, Inc., National Real Estate Brokerage Concern.
And number 2, will you tell us who you really are, please?
Yes, I'm Herbert C. DeRote. I'm an investment consultant and manager and trustee.
Well, now, let's see. There were 2 incorrect votes at $250 each, for a total of $500 for our challengers from Geritol. Thanks and good luck. We'll meet a new challenger. And now, may we have our next team of challengers?
What is your name, please?
My name is Vaice de Villa.
What is your name, please?
My name is Vaice de Villa.
What is your name, please?
My name is Vaice de Villa.
All right, panel. You please listen while I read this affidavit. I, Vaice de Villa, was born in Tahiti and now live on a plantation in the South Pacific. As a performer, I have appeared in Paris at the Moulin Rouge and the Casino de Paris. Recently, I came to this country where I am earning my living as a knife thrower and fire eater. Signed, Vaice de Villa. All right, panel, these three ladies all claim to be Vaice de Villa, fire eater and knife thrower. All right, challengers ready? Let's start this one with Gardner.
Well, number one, when you eat fire, do you suffer from heartburn later?
I do.
You do. Would you mind telling me, number one, what liquid you gargle with before you do your fire act?
None.
Number two, would you answer that?
No, I don't.
Number three, would you answer that?
I just put cold cream.
You could what?
Cold cream after my act.
Cold cream.
Yes.
Number one,
On
you
my-
do... Beg pardon?
On my lips.
On your lips. You do knife throwing. Now, in the movies, you occasionally see something where a knife is thrown at the villain or the hero or something and he escapes it. Do you know how that is done?
Sometimes
How?
it's very simple. You throw a knife.
Uh-huh.
You got your answer, Polly?
Number three, could you tell me who is the highest paid performer at the Café de Paris?
At the Café de Paris,
Yes.
the high paid.
Yes, the biggest star they have that works there annually.
At Café de Paris, I never worked at Café de Paris.
You didn't?
No.
Casino difference.
Casino, I'm
At
awfully
Casino
sorry.
Paris, it's an American girl. What's her name? I think it's Barbara something.
Barbara something.
Yes, I'm not sure of the name. I know.
Interesting name.
Yes, she's American.
Number two, when you eat fire, how do you, no, as a matter of fact, I'd rather know this. How
All
do
right,
you
if you'd
swallow?
rather
No,
not.
now
Thank you
don't
very
do
much,
that.
Polly.
No, I mean, don't do that. It's
All
a very
right, go ahead,
important
go ahead,
question.
go ahead.
First time I've ever won. Number two, how do you swallow a knife? What apparatus do you use in order to swallow a knife?
I never do swallowing knife.
You don't swallow a
No.
knife. Oh, you
There's your
throw
answer.
knives. Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't you? It would be a wonderful occupation.
Jack?
You were born in Tahiti. What group of islands will we find Tahiti? Number one, what group of islands, Tahiti?
Tahiti is
Yes.
the ocean island.
Number three, what group of islands?
It's a part of French Oceania. It's the meaning of a French Oceania.
Number two, you're a knife thrower.
Yes.
How are you fixed for blades? And number one, as a fire eater, are you aware that there's a link, medical science reports, between fire eating and shish kebabbing yourself? Are you aware of it? You don't. You know what shish kebab means? Number one, you know what shish kebab means? See, we got a bit.
I rule, the chair rules that you don't have to answer.
I'll learn nothing, but we got a bit going there.
Number one, would you describe your knife throwing act?
Well,
I take the knife in the flat of my hand and I just flip it.
Really? How many partners have you gone through like that?
None.
None at all.
All right, time's up. I'm sorry. We had some long questions and some long answers there.
I'm sorry.
Time's up. It's time to vote now. No consultation, please.
I don't
Mark
know.
your ballots.
This one I don't know.
And please select
know.
number one, number two, or number three. You're all ready, Polly? I can
I'm
see.
all ready, early.
Who'd you vote for?
With my complete lack of judgment through this entire mess, I voted for number three. And actually, I really honestly feel that she really is the one. I don't want to change my vote or anything because she seemed truly authentic with the cold cream and everything, and I won't say
That's
anything
a very
else.
complete answer. I'll accept it. Jack?
Number three. Because I'm nuts about Polly.
Kitty?
Number three. Because she said that it belonged to French Oceania, and I believed her.
And I?
Well, this completes it. I also voted for number three.
Oh, well.
First of all, a solution is used by fire eaters. It must be. Number two, as a Broadway columnist, I'm constantly ducking knives, and I think I should recognize one thrower of knives. And thirdly, she looks from here like she's really got hot lips from that fire eating.
All right. Very good. I have a surprise for you. The votes are all in. The minds are made up. Now, will you three young ladies please stand in front of your desks? Here are the tools for fire eater. Now, will the real fire eater please go to work? Very exciting. Thank you. Now, number one, will you please tell us who you really are?
My name is Elinor Pommier, and I'm a fashion designer for McKettrick Williams.
And number three, will you tell us who you really are,
Yes,
please?
my name is Irene Chervier, and I'm an airline stewardess.
Well, let's see. There are 4 incorrect votes at $250 apiece for a total of $1,000 for our challengers from Geritol. Thanks and good luck. In just 1 minute, 3 new challengers. Now may we have our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Doris Tempest.
What is your name, please?
My name is Doris Tempest.
What is your name, please?
My name is Doris Tempest.
All right, panel, again, please listen while I read this affidavit. I, Doris Tempest, am a graduate of Cambridge University. During World War II, I served my country alerting the air raid warden posts of approaching enemy aircraft. Currently, I am one of the few British women who are privileged to wear this wig and gown as a barrister in the British courts. Signed, Doris Tempest. All right, panel, these 3 ladies all claim to be Doris Tempest, English barrister. Will each of you question until you hear the signal? Challengers ready? Well, let's start this one with Holly Bergen.
Number 1, can a member of the peerage be tried by regular court?
No,
Whom are they tried by?
by the House of Lords.
Number 2, could you tell me what type of aircraft did the RAF use mainly during the war?
They used a lot of different types.
What was the one most commonly used? Number 3?
Well, there's Spitfire.
Well, to begin with, we had Spitfires, and extraordinarily few of them, I'm afraid. And then after that, we moved on to much larger bombers.
I see. Number 1.
Thank you, Polly, and this time it's for keeps. Jack?
Number 3, what king of England signed the Magna Carta?
King John.
Number 1, what does MG stand for?
Morris Garages.
That's right. Where's the Jaguar made, number 2?
Somewhere in England.
Number 3, what is the tradition behind the wig you're wearing?
Well, wigs are comparatively modern in the English courts. They've really only been worn since about 1660, when they became fashionable. They were then imported from France.
Thank you, Jack. Kitty?
Number 3, what is your wig made of?
My own wig, I'm afraid, is made of goat's hair.
Number 2, what is your wig made of?
Horsehair.
Number 1, what is your wig made of?
Mohair.
No?
And as a matter of fact, that is the hair of a white goat.
Ah, thank you. Number 1, how long have women been permitted to be barristers in England?
For about 150 years.
Number 2, how many are there?
I don't know.
Number 3, do you know?
I think there are probably about 70 or 75. There are only 2,000 practicing barristers.
Number 1, could you
I'm
tell
sorry,
me...
Kitty. Aye?
Number 1, approximately when was Big Ben damaged by Nazi bombs?
During one of the battles over London.
Have you any
Quite
idea?
sure which one.
I'm sorry, have you any
It was
idea?
very hard. I don't think they really know.
Number 1, have you any idea when Big Ben was repaired?
Quite recently.
Quite recently. Number 3, does England still have an air raid warden service?
No.
It doesn't. Number 1, what job did Sarah Churchill do during the war?
She was in the ATS.
She was in the what?
In the ATS, the ATS.
Uh-huh. You dropped both the A and the C and the other thing in that. Number 3...
I'm sorry, all right, time's up. It's time to vote now. Please, again, without consultation, will you mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3? You ready? Molly, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 1.
Why?
Number 1. Actually, I voted for her because I have an MG, and I didn't know what it stands for, and if she knows what it stands for, she must be the real one.
Jack, who did you vote for?
I voted for number 3 because I'm disenchanted with Polly. But actually...
You're fickle, aren't you, Jack?
Well, actually, I had a martini for dinner, and I'm never wrong when I have a martini.
Kitty, what is your choice?
Number 1, well, I kind of like the mohair wig.
It was my favorite, too.
And High, for whom did you vote?
Well, I voted for number 1, too, principally because number 3, if she's a lawyer, was unlike most lawyers. She gave too much free advice. So I voted for number 1.
All right, the votes are all in. The minds are made up. Let's find out which of these 3 ladies is the real English barrister. Will the real Doris Tempest please stand?
I'm not serious.
Number 1, will you tell us who you really are, please?
I am Kathleen Whitworth Tetlow, just a housewife, wife of Edwin Tetlow, correspondent of the London Daily Telegraph here in New York.
And number 3, will you tell us who you really are, please?
My name is Nancy Hume, and I'm a housewife, too, and my husband works for the United Nations.
All right. This was a kind of a tough one, and I think the description of the wigs kind of got everybody a little off there, didn't it? Mohair and goat's hair and horse hair, and yes, Kitty?
I wanted to ask the difference between a barrister and a solicitor.
Good question.
A barrister has the sole right to appear in the High Court.
Very well, you got your answer. I'm sorry, High. I guess we haven't got time. Let's see, we have 4 incorrect answers at $250 apiece, for a total of $1,000 for our challengers from Geritol. Thanks and good luck. We'll return in a moment. Well, panel, that's all we have time for tonight, except to thank Jack Paar for sitting in for me on the panel while I'm pinch hitting for Bud Collier. And Jack, we know you have to rush away to that other network for your Jack Paar Tonight show. So good night, panel.
Good night, Rob.
Till next week, then, when we hope Bud Collier will be back. This is Ralph Bellamy saying good night and reminding you to tell the truth.
Transportation for To Tell the Truth, arranged by American Airlines. Guests have flown to New York aboard American's famous luxury flight, the DC-7 Mercury. To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production, in association with the CBS television network. Miss Bergen's and Miss Carlisle's dresses by Molly Carter.